Good morning and welcome to Morning Gospel Fuel with Mr. G. It is Friday, February 25th, the seventh week of Ordinary Time. It is the feast day of Saint Luigi Versiglia. And he was around in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and he was murdered for the faith in 1930. Um, and so hence we call him a martyr. So he was an Italian Roman Catholic prelate who was a professed member of the Salesians of Don Bosco. But he was a former novice master, noted for his strict austerities and discipline, but also for his loving and compassionate care of the poor and defenseless, which is probably why he was part of the Salesians. But he led the first Salesian expedition. Salesian is an organization modeling the life and spirituality of St. Francis de Sales. But he led an expedition in China in 1906, and he remained there until his death, where he was murdered. So there we go, China. China needs some prayers with their communist way of life and lack of religion. But anyway, let's not get into politics. Let's focus on Saint Luigi Versiglia. But then also today's gospel is from Mark chapter 10, verses 1 through 12. Let's begin in the name of the Father, Son, and Spirit, amen. He set out from there and went into the district of Judea and across the Jordan. Again, crowds gathered around him, and, as was his custom, he again taught them. The Pharisees approached and asked, "Is it lawful for a husband to divorce his wife?" They were testing him. He said to them in reply, "What did Moses command you?" They replied, "Moses permitted him to write a bill of divorce and dismiss her." But Jesus told them, "Because of the hardness of your heart, he wrote you this commandment. But from the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So you are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, no human being must separate." In the house, the disciples again questioned him about this. He said to them, "Whoever divorces his wife and marries another commits adultery against her. And if she divorces her husband and marries another, she commits adultery." So it's interesting that both the Pharisees and the disciples are questioning Jesus. And he gives them this strict teaching on marriage and divorce. So it's pretty crystal clear on what Jesus is teaching, and hence what the Catholic Church's teaching is on marriage and divorce, which is why the annulment process, if you know much about that, is so intense and takes pretty long whenever it comes to the annulment of that sacramental matrimony. Which by the end they agree that it was never a sacrament, but it takes a long time to get through that process relative to intent and knowing what marriage means prior to stepping into that marriage. So very high standards for the Catholic Church in regards to marriage. So the reflection today and my challenge, I'm going to read two letters. This is an exchange of letters between Pietro and Saint Gianna. And St. Gianna is the patron saint of mothers. And so this is an exchange shortly after these two were engaged. And so if you're married, I think this is the type of relationship that we should try to rediscover and recreate, and getting back to that marital bliss that takes place hopefully prior to getting married. Because it's very easy to get off track. I kind of forget that passionate zeal and love and sacrificial love that married couples have at the beginning, but then unfortunately fades for many, but can get back on track. So without further ado, here are those two letters. Dearest Pietro, this is from Gianna. I don't have the words to thank you for all your thoughtfulness and kindness towards me. Thank you for the beautiful roses and for the hours we spent together last night. You know, I feel bad because I'm stealing your precious hours of sleep when you need to after a day of work and worry. On the other hand, I am so happy in your company that I wish time would stand still when I'm with you. Pietro, if only I could tell you all I feel for you, but I read between the lines. The Lord has truly blessed me. You are the man I had wished for, but I often ask myself, will I be worthy of him? Yes, worthy of you, Pietro, because I want so much to make you happy, but I fear not being able to do so, and I often feel I am unable to do anything. When this happens, I ask God, Lord, you see my desire and my goodwill. Supply what is lacking and help me to become the wife and mother you desire, and which I think Pietro wants too. Is that all right, Pietro? I greet you with so much love. Your Gianna. Then the response. Dearest Gianna, why thank me for my efforts and kindness, which comes easily to me because of your great love, and which I really owe you because of how good you are to me? I would like to always cover you with affectionate attention, because I would like to see you always filled with joy, the same joy I have. If you only knew, Gianna, how peaceful I am, and how dear to me and vivid is the sweet memory of the hours I've spent with you, in the evenings and on our outings, the sweet memory of sharing your dreams and promises, of confiding our joys and hopes to each other. How I love remembering your dear sweet face and that smile only you have. Your gentle humility makes your gifts more beautiful and your love sweeter. That's the answer to the question you ask me. You are everything to me, dearest Gianna. You have already filled my life with yourself in both affection and desires. I already feel that you are the worthy spouse I hoped for, and the incomparable mother of the children with whom God will bless us. I pray that the Lord will make me always worthy of you. I am with you in spirit, and I can just picture you beautiful and serene, happy and full of life, on those snowy slopes you love so much. With the greatest affection I remember you, and I'm so looking forward to seeing you again Saturday. Your Pietro. So there we go. That should be the type of love that engaged and married couples have and retain. And what is it centered in? Love and charity, which only comes from God. So there we go. Have a great day. God bless. And keep it real. In the Father, Son, and Spirit. Amen.